Hello, and welcome to Law Talk. My name is John Celebrezze, and I'm the co-founder of the Celebrezze Zanghi Community Legal Education Project, as we call it, CZ-CLEP for short. Our organization provides continuing education about the judiciary and legislature to attorneys, judges, government officials, and the general public. As a career educator, I recognize early on how important legal matters are and how they impact our lives. I am the nephew of the late Anthony J. Celebrezze, who was the popular 5-term mayor of Cleveland and a member of President Kennedy's cabinets. As a tribute to his lifetime commitment to the legal process, we dedicate this show. Our guest today is longtime Medina County attorney Steve Bailey. Steve is the founding partner in the firm of Marco & Bailey. He has been practicing law for 19 years. He graduated from the University of Akron Law School, 5th in his graduating class. Steve also sits on the Grievance Committee of the Medina County Bar Association. Prior to becoming a lawyer, Steve worked as a reporter and editor for the Gazette. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, John.
Steve, we're going to talk about a timely topic, foreclosures, today. And we've actually decided to do 2 shows on it because of our previous show with Judge Kimbler. And as we discussed this with Judge Kimbler last time, I was really surprised when he said that 40% of his docket is now dedicated to foreclosures. What are you seeing in your practice?
Well, that is a shocking statistic. I heard that a couple of months ago, and I couldn't hardly believe it. And I think the thing that's most shocking about it is that this is not a poor county. This is a fairly well-to-do county, and so I think that's pretty frightening. And in my practice, the number of people that I'm running across with foreclosure problems and with home equity problems is staggering. You know, I do a tremendous amount of domestic relations work, and you know, when I'm negotiating a dissolution or a divorce, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, I would tell you it's extremely rare to run into a married couple with no equity in their house, not enough equity to sell it. Whereas today, it's becoming commonplace. It's almost a majority of my practice of people whose equity situation in their house is so poor that they can't actually afford to sell it because they can't raise enough from the sales price, especially if they have a realtor and they have a cost of sale, to clear the mortgages to pass the title. And this is becoming, like I said, I would say close to a majority of the people that I'm running across. And you know, I want to say that nobody should completely excuse the consumer from getting themselves in that position, because certainly that's something we all have to be personally responsible for.
Understand.
But the thing that has created the situation that I'm seeing is the banking industry's modification of their procedure from when I was a kid. When I bought my first house, when my wife and I bought our first house, you couldn't borrow a down payment. You weren't allowed to borrow a down payment. If you, in fact, you were doing that from your parents or something, the parents had to give the bank a letter saying it was a gift. And you probably remember that, and older viewers would remember that. Yeah. But I'm running across people who are getting what they're calling 80-20 loans, where the bank is loaning them 80% of the value of the house, and then on the very same day creating a second mortgage equity line to loan them the other 20%.
I see.
And
that's where they get in trouble.
And that's where they get in trouble. They're borrowing 100% of the value of the house from day one.
You know, Steve, we're going to talk a little bit about one of your clients here, Pebble Cobb, who's been nice enough to let us share her experiences, and you as well. I guess I'd want to kind of ask you this impromptu question. You said something here that kind of jogged my thinking a bit. you do the majority of your practice is domestic relations?
Probably 60%.
Well, I mean, you can never separate the human factor here. Is there, are you seeing, are marriages being destroyed because of this? I mean, that's, is this a major issue as far as folks coming in, a loss of a house? I'm sure it's going to exasperate.
You know, it's going to sound strange, John, but